saves. You better not punt, ERA you better be on point with the rest of your statistics. It's important. So we've talked Robles, we've talked Marte. Also at 20, so Robles at 28, Marte at 25. Tommy Pham also at 25. Is a little bit more of a value because his ADP is 86.5. But he's moving cities. He's, again, 31 years old. And dang it, he hit well in Tampa. He liked hitting in Tampa. He hit 287 there. Compared to 271 in St. Louis. How they use him in San Diego is yet to be seen. I'd imagine he plays mostly in left field. I imagine he hits mostly the top of the order. So that bodes well to his statistics that we're interested in, his runs and his stolen bases. San Diego's got a big field. You would think he'd get a lot of opportunity to run there. I think 25 is a good baseline for Pham. And San Diego's going to be pretty good. So I like this landing spot for him. Again, that 86 ADP I like a lot. Okay? Now, this will prove to you guys. I said earlier, I said that I liked Dyson. I said that I liked Malik Smith, right? I don't like Delino DeShields. Now, I know he's moved to Cleveland. He should get regular playing time. His ADP is 393. I get all of that. He's only 27. Still a little room to grow. He has 30 stolen bases potential. He stole 24 last year and just 357 at-bats. But I'm skeptical. I don't think 249 last year, I think is just about his ceiling. I'm going to talk about Witt, Kevin. I'm going to talk about him. You know I am. I think 249 is his ceiling. Actually, I think all of these numbers are just about his ceiling. And I know he only played it about half of a year last year. 42 runs, 32 ribs, 24 stolen bases. Yes, he's going to play a lot in Cleveland, but I don't know if that's a good thing. I don't see me buying into King Hap. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Thanks for stopping by. I don't see DeShields being a factor. Okay, so 24 stolen base category is where we're at. So King Hap, guys that just joined, we're going down through. We've got 8 players in the majors that had 30 plus stolen bases. We've talked about those guys. Some values there. We have 21 players in the major leagues who had 20 plus stolen bases last year. We're breaking those guys down, okay? And so far we've talked about in this category Robles, Marte, and Pham. DeShields, I just spoke about. I'm wanting to get into, and this is Lenny's boy, and I really like this guy this year, Colton Wong. I did some research on Colton Wong. He's 29 years old, 285 last year, 61 runs, 11 stolen bases. 24 stolen bases, 11 homers. I must have typoed that. But the fun part about this is, Bader and Wong, 1-2 for the Cardinals this year, should be really interesting. Really interesting. And there should be a lot of running between those two. Okay? So, last year, this was the cool part. And this is the part where I really started to buy into this Colton Wong thing. Last year after the All-Star break, Colton Wong hit 342. I'll say that again. Colton Wong hit 342 after the All-Star break last year. Did we know that? I didn't. He had a 285 average. But that's a significant jump. And what happened? He quit using his leg kick. And he did that because he felt like his timing was off with it. So he just went to where he simple swing. So, and it's about weight distribution, right? So when he made that slight adjustment, he really saw an improvement. More importantly, it shows his ability to break down film and adjust on the fly. That's important with these guys, right? Being cerebral. The best part about this, guys, the leg kick's back. Spring training, he's back with the leg kick. So we'll see how it works. But and his explanation of that was, it wasn't the leg kick, it was the timing associated with the leg kick. So I really like what Colton Wong has to say. He's 29 years old, guys. I thought he was a little older than that, right? But I think the potential's there. I think 24 stolen bases is the floor. Arnie, my boy. What's up, brother? Thanks for coming by, buddy. So I really like Colton Wong. I really like the fact that he's taken the initiative to work on the mental part of his game. Okay? I like him at a 258 ADP. Yeah, he's only 29. That's crazy, isn't it? Again, we're talking about value. I'm not going to talk much about these guys. 24, 23, and 22. 24 stolen bases, Jose Ramirez. ADP of 20.8. 23 stolen bases, Trevor Story. ADP of 10.5. And 22 stolen bases, Francisco Lindor. 7.3 ADP. Again, I do want to say Ramirez is kind of crazy last year. He is so streaky. But the 24 stolen bases really kind of saved his ass a little bit, right? Story, I like. I'll talk about him some in the runs section. But at 10.5, I kind of view him more of as a second-round pick as opposed to a first-round pick. So I doubt I'll have many shares of him. Lindor, I love. 22 stolen bases last year. Seems safe. Seems like he could do that backwards, right? Of these three, obviously he has the highest ADP. I think he's the safest pick. The other two, Ramirez is way too streaky for me, especially as a second-round pick. And Story as a first-rounder, I think, is just a touch high. So I won't talk much about those guys, but they're there. The next two guys I'm not going to talk much about either because I think, just like Lenny said earlier, these guys are one-trick ponies. D. Gordon and Billy Hamilton. I do not suggest drafting those guys. Both of them had 22 stolen bases last year. Both of them will hurt you in every other category. But one guy I will advocate for. ADP of 138.8. Danny Santana. You gotta love this guy. He's a little bit of a late age breakout. But who frick cares? Here's some fun. Here's your daily Danny Santana stats, okay? Some fun Danny Santana's fun to say, by the way. He sounds like he should be a member of Chips. So, last year he came out, he hit 283, 28 homers, 81 runs, 81 RBIs, and 21 stolen bases. He's solid across the board. Yes, he's 29 years old. But I'm going to tell you why it's not important. He's been given, this is, we all say this all the time, this is about opportunity, right? He's been given the everyday center field job, right? Point one. So the opportunity's there. Point two If you're in a league that you can move your rosters, he's basically eligible anywhere on the field. He could play first. He could play second. He could play. We have left, center. We have different. I have different leagues that do left, center, right. So he's literally versatile. He could play on half the positions on the field. But the most important part, and I think this is the part that gets missed the most, did you guys realize the last time Danny Santana played more than 100 games, you know when that was? Well, I'll tell you, it was 2014. That year, he hit 319, 7 homers, 70 runs, 40 ribs, and 20 stolen bases. 319. This kid's a good player. He just hasn't been afforded opportunity. He's getting it now. I think at 138, Danny Santana is a tremendous value. Especially when you're talking about him in the same regards, no offense, Kevin, with this next guy. Also at 21 stolen bases, who I love. He's one of my favorite players, Whitley Merrifield. ADP is 45.3. So you're talking about Danny Santana at 138 or Whit Merrifield at 45. The numbers are pretty similar. Santana hit 283. Merrifield hit 302. Santana had 28 homers. Merrifield had 16 homers. Santana had 81 runs. Whit had 105 runs. Santana had 81 RBIs. Whit had 74. I have conflicting stats here. I don't know if he stole 21. Actually, I do know this. Hold on one second. He stole 20 stolen bases. 20 stolen bases out of Whit. 21 stolen bases out of Santana. 20 out of Whit. The difference, and we're talking about value here, is about 5 rounds. And that's big. That's big. Who's going to replace him, Arnie? Arnie asks, if Santana has a bad April, does he still play every day? Who are you going to put in center field to replace Whit Merrifield? I don't see it happening. Maybe I'm totally off. Sorry, I'm looking up the Rangers depth chart. I looked at it last night. I know it's not great, right? You're not going to get someone to supplant him. So, Danny Santana's backup in center field, according to CBS Sports. I don't even know who this guy is. Heineman? Sorry, I got to find out now. Nick Solak, Scott Heineman. 75 career at-bats at 213 average. I'm not real concerned about that. Nick Solak, maybe fair. Center field's big in Texas. And Joey Gallo in center field. So, Solak, that's fine. That's fine. I'm just saying he's fairly supplanted. He'd have to have a pretty catastrophic April for that to happen. It's a fair point. I just don't see it as being realistic. Wow. So, how about Manny Margot? The last of that group. He's going to platoon. His ADP is 365 with 20 stolen bases. I like Margot. I'm just not sure how much he plays. So we've talked about some values in these top 21 players.